Welcome in, Pisces. It's Ruby. How's everybody doing? All right, Pisces, we're going to be getting your twin flame energy for May 2025. This is going to be for divine feminine or divine masculine or both of you. Maybe if you both see this reading. Cross-watcher energy is very, very welcome here. Yay, thanks so much for being here. This is going to be for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. All right. Or if the future title resonates for you in some way, which I don't know what it is yet, then this reading could also be for you. Okay, so just remember timing is fluid. We're going to be looking at approximately 30 to 60 days, and we'll go from there. I'm going to use one of these cards to get started. It's about to pop off. That's what these cards say on the front about it. Up front. Sorry. They're called Vibe About It, I think. Okay. Ignoring. Turns a blind eye, neglects oneself, having tunnel vision, and disregarding feedback. Ego. We all got it. We all got it. They just were not listening. They were not listening to other people's opinions. You might have been trying to talk to them about stuff. I'm just going to read it as though you're divine feminine. Okay. So you might have been trying to talk to them about stuff, or other people were trying to talk to them about stuff, and they just did not want to listen to anyone else. I feel like it's partially ego here, but it was like I'm hearing martyr syndrome. Like, you know how some people are like, well, whatever I'm doing, it's for the good of everybody, and if I have to sacrifice myself, then that's just what I'm going to do, right? And we've all been there, so no judgment from me. But they were neglecting themselves, having tunnel vision about it. And so I feel like this could be the divine masculine here, although I'm sure this would resonate also with divine feminine energy, because we have all done this as well, haven't we? Yes. They just were not listening, though, at all. This one is turning sideways. Dishonest and disloyal, cunning or deceitful, disrespectful behavior, being treated as inferior. They were being treated really poorly. They were being told that they were being treated really poorly. They knew it. They allowed it, or you allowed it, divine feminine. One or both of you. And underneath we have eyes too open. Okay, because these are double-sided, all right? Excessive scrutiny, preoccupied with risks, critical perfectionist, overly vigilant, and distrustful. They knew exactly what was happening to them, or is currently happening to them. They knew it. They knew that they were being treated poorly. They knew that someone was being dishonest, possibly, or they were disrespecting them. They were being treated as inferior, and they were choosing to allow that behavior. Okay, because they were trying to make something else work, and they're like, no, I'm fine. I don't need help. I can handle it, right? And how many times has that messed us up in our lives, guys? Because I know it has for me, right? You think, oh, I can fix this person. Oh, I can handle this situation. It'll be fine. If I just love them more, I'm sure they'll be great to me back. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. And sometimes the people who love you most, who are really there for your best interest, they'll tell you the truth, okay? And maybe you try to tell them the truth, like I said. They knew it. They knew it, and they're like, oh, they don't know what they're talking about. Oh, they're being dramatic about this. I'm fine, especially if it's a masculine energy of physical males. So they don't like being told a lot of times. It's been my personal experience as a counselor and like working with men for a long time. It's like they don't want anything that is going to endanger their masculinity. And so if they allow themselves to understand, hey, I'm being emotionally abused by a woman or by someone that they is supposed to be nurturing, it's too much for them at times to admit to, because the reality of that pill would be way too hard to swallow. okay? So this could be about any specific thing. I don't know for sure. There could be Cancer placement here. I am noticing this motorcycle, and it looks like very fast movement here. So this is very much like Chariot type energy, because that is the Cancer card. So loyal, protective, intuitive, caring, devoted, perceptive, tenacious, right? I was always so hot and cold with you, and I know that was confusing. Our connection was too much for me to handle, and that was the only way I could deal with it. I think it was something about you talking to them, you telling them the truth. And your loyalty and your sensitivity and your devotion was showing them something they didn't want to see that was not healthy in their own life. It was too much of a mirroring effect. That's what I just heard. Too much of a mirror. They were just like, la 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 la. No, no, no. You were so much loyal. You were reliable. You were showing unconditional love. You were showing the opposite of that dishonest and disloyal behavior, right? Okay. Yeah, they were dealing with a mask, a deceitful situation. All right, what's this other one? Desensitizing. So they may not have been desensitizing with something literal, like they could have been taking pills or, you know, working out like 5 hours a day, drinking, you know, overeating, just vibing out to like 6 hours of Netflix when they come home from work every night instead of like participating in other things. It helped them keep this mask on about their reality. Yeah, even though they saw very clearly what was happening, they didn't want to see. And they didn't want anyone else to see. Okay? They were emotionally detached due to fear or unwanted behaviors. They were feeling numb, suppressing feelings through either drugs, alcohol, or some other addictive behavior. So even codependency. We've all been there. Okay? Yeah, we have. Most of us. All right. So that's currently what they're thinking about right now. They ignored things with you. How are they showing up right now? Now, Cancer energy here with the Chariot card is all about like taking control. So the Emperor drives the chariot, right? And he's the one who leads it. Now, Spirit, because it's a major arcana, Spirit is bringing that energy in, right? And Spirit is actually driving and assisting driving this chariot. But it requires the Emperor to step into his or her power, his or her meaning divine masculine, whether you're a feminine, a female divine masculine, because there's both, right? It's about taking new paths. It's about taking control back, having victory. But what they're fighting here is their own ego, because that can also have a smidge tingy of ego to it. A smidge tingy, that's a new one. I come up with all sorts of words, but that's a new one. How are they currently showing up? Okay, so they're showing up as an influencer. So they're showing up as a trendsetter, a follower, or an online influence. I'm going to pull another one because I'm trying to figure out if this is them putting on a face or if they're stepping into more of a leadership role right now. Leadership role. Okay, some sort of public leadership role is what they're standing into right now. Because this influencer card reminds me a lot of Leo, okay? So Leo, you're in front of a crowd, perhaps, right? In front of a crowd, could be the head of a family. They are steering the ship. They are, all eyes are on them. Okay. But it's in a positive way. Guardians of faith, religion, morality, compassion, sacred mission. So they're stepping into sacred mission. Okay, so it seems like they're really getting out of this energy here. Remember, this energy can be vice versa or interchangeable. This could also be you. They're steering the ship. That's what I just said. Loving my guides. Okay. It even creeps me out sometimes. Navigator of destiny, voyage, leadership, decision making, and objective. That's exactly what it is. So they're taking their power back. They're seeing clearly. They're choosing, like I was saying, with this movement type energy, with this Cancer, they're taking control of the wheel. They're grabbing the bar, right? They're steering this motorcycle. They're moving. They're like, wait a minute, I'm in control over myself, right? 3 of Wands. Again, we have this energy of movement, waiting for your ships to come in. For some reason, this card, I believe, is meant to be like a house overlooking a lake or a river. Looks like a river. But for some reason, I always see this as someone that's actually on a boat. Okay, I don't know why. That's just the way I've always seen this card. And this masculine is sitting there drinking his coffee, and he's thinking about, you know, I'm manifesting my own destiny, right? With this Chariot card. I'm going to steer my own ship here. I'm going to manifest this in, and then this is someone who has done that, right? And they're waiting for their manifestations to come in. Let's get an overall card here right now. So they're over this tunnel vision. Whatever this deceit was in their life, they're seeing it very clearly now. Eyes wide open. Okay, they're showing me that. The other side. Staying alert and prepared. They have a clear vision and informed, fully conscious and mindful, and beginning to be open to new experiences. So this energy is moving from this to this. All right. Oh, there's my card. So much for shuffling. All right, the Hermit. Okay, so that's Virgo energy here for you guys. All right, so interesting. This is about going within. This is about asking help from spirit. That's what's been happening. I think when it comes to you and them, there's been a lot of silence. And I think there's a sense of embarrassment about this deceit in their life and the way that they were not actually, like, they were having this tunnel vision and stuff. I think they're embarrassed about that right now. I think once they realized what was happening, they started taking action in their own life and making these changes. But that doesn't mean that they were talking to you about it. Can you tell me a little bit about this deceit? Because for a while they were trying to cover it up and desensitize. They really didn't want to face it. Guys, the Chariot, the frickin' Chariot. So they took control back. So they're not telling me specifically, but what I do see here is someone releasing themselves from this self-imposed prison here. They're standing on top of this here, right? The wagon. 10 of Pentacles. Having it all. So again, a new beginning with this Ace of Wands sticking out. They want to build. Page of Pentacles. They're seeing something from a beginner's mind. They're viewing something they've learned. So this isn't someone who's going to stay in this desensitized energy forever. This is someone who is learning and who is incorporating that to move towards their 10 of Pentacles, to move towards their happily ever after manifested. Yes. Ace of Swords. Moving quickly. 8 of Wands, sorry. So again, heavy Cancer. Virgo energy so far. What's in their headspace right now? Oh my God. The World. Okay, so wrapping up this huge cycle. It's time to wrap this up so that a new beginning can happen. We just saw that Ace of Wands, right? Here, look, 10 of Cups. Again, the cycle's coming to an end. We have 10 of Pentacles and 10 of Cups. The two wonderful 10s, right? But first, they're the wounded warrior right now. They're still walking through this finish line to wrap up this other chapter. That's what they're thinking about. You want the happiness, you got to walk through the finish line and finish the rest of this out. You're beat up by it. Tell me a little bit more about the world. For thoughts. Please, Spirit. This ignoring and desensitizing was really difficult for them emotionally and physically. They might have needed to ask for help. Yeah. 3 of Swords with the Queen of Wands. Pain about you or this other situation. Nightmares, staying up at night, not being able to sleep. Physical pain, possibly. A lot of emotional pain. About you or this other thing or both. It's in their heart space. For Pisces. 4 of Wands and the Ace of Wands again. That's the 3rd time it's shown up. When something shows up that often, you guys, it means it's extremely important. So this is all about the spark, them getting their spark back. This is Stella getting her groove back or his groove back. Okay, and this is the finish line. That's what they just said. Moving toward it. Moving toward it. You see what I'm saying here? All right. That's what they're feeling. Yes, moving toward it. Fast movement. Very fast. 8 of Wands is very fast movement. Can be messages, but it's positive progression forward. Okay. They have like, I'm hearing like, too much time has passed. Too much time has passed. That's why I'm getting, we got motorcycle. You know, we got this chariot. And then this person's like, hey, eyes wide open. I see the truth. I see the truth. Intentions. They're listening. They've tuned into their intuition with the Hermit card. Processing that information. Heeding advice from others. Receptivity. Yeah, they want to water this crop. They want to put the work or effort in with this situation now. They couldn't see before or they didn't want to see before, right? They were desensitizing. This is the ostrich with its head in the sand energy. No more. Tell me a little bit more about this 8 of Pentacles. 9 of Wands in reverse. This is giving up. Like, this is like, I'm putting on this facade, right? And I've been around the barn 10 times with this situation. This deceit energy. This is giving that up and being like, I'm done. This is not stable. This is deceitful. This is not, you know, this is not, I mean, this is Queen of Pentacles, right? So with this Queen of Pentacles in reverse, when you get it in reverse, whatever this was about was something that was not stable. This is someone who doesn't really hold their value. This is someone who might appear to be something, but doesn't have like the gumption or the strength behind it. Doesn't have consistency, right? It's just a facade energy. It doesn't have abundance attached, right? And all sorts of abundance, right? Okay. All right, let's get the after tarot out. 4 of Wands again on the split. They're running toward the finish line. Running toward the finish line. Steering the ship, Captain. Steering the ship towards their divine feminine, or their sacred mission. See how fast we're going to get there. 30 to 60 days. See if it's a little bit farther out. I was getting that energy still. So we had Hermit for the overall energy. They're still currently in it. They're still currently in that Hermit energy. Tell me a little bit more. They're seeing clearly. That's Queen of Swords. clearly, seeing this clearly, seeing this clearly, seeing this very clearly, seeing it extremely clearly. Judgment. If you didn't know, it's very clear. It's super clear. Really clear, right? Really clear. Let's just open these eyes way bigger. It's an awakening about this. So there's no action as of yet, but they're seeing this and this situation and this mask very, very clearly. Page of Wands, taking a new direction. Again, this page in the After Tarot is recognizing that the path they went down was the wrong one. But the thing is, that's not the way it's viewed with spirit, and especially when it comes to twin flame, because you can never really take the wrong path. It's a choose your own ending book. That's what we're living right now, right? And you might choose to, like with a choose your own ending, you might take a extra long path, but it always brings you back to your soul. It always brings you back to you, and you always learn something in the process, right? And so that's for both divine feminine and divine masculine. This is a journey about soul awakening. That's the gift that we're given. But that doesn't mean that we don't make mistakes. How do you learn? Mistakes. What is the biggest way that we learn? Through relationships, right? Relationships with other people, right? Lessons to be learned. I just got a confirmation in my left ear. Lessons to be learned from other people. Situations. It's one of the easiest ways to learn lessons is through other people. Okay. So Spirit is basically saying to this divine masculine and to you, divine feminine, whoever's reading this is don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself, because this manifestation is still coming in. Remember how I was talking about that, where is it? I was looking for the Three of Wands energy. I may have put it back in the deck because I think it was on the back side of my cards, right? So as you see this clearly, as you start to release yourself, right? This Three of Wands energy is still here. You may think that it's gone, but it's not, right? This is still going to manifest in. It might be slightly later than it would have been had you made a different choice earlier on, but it doesn't mean that this is lost forever. Right? So this is about you've manifested something positive and you're waiting for it to come back in, right? Amazon, you ordered your package and it's on the truck and it's coming to your house. What have you manifested in? Are you going to give up hope on yourself, or are you going to trust? So there's a little bit of work and contemplation yet to be completed with this particular situation, Pisces. But I do think it's worth it. Okay. All right. So let's get a couple messages for you guys. Couple messages for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I felt one turn over. I ain't lying. Karmic connection. Moving on from the patterns. So what is literally moving on from the patterns? Nine of Wands in reverse. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, thinking about what do I want to put work or effort into? That's real. Okay, I got two. I hate this distance between us. It doesn't feel good. And this isn't over between us. I'm coming back for you. That's why we see all of this. We have the Cancer energy. We have the Two of Wands, the Three of Wands. We have the boat, the captain steering their ship, the motorcycle, what else? What else do we have here? Oh yeah, the Page of Wands walking his path. This is all about movement. This is all about new beginnings, and they're getting there. Okay. All right. So that's what I have for you, Pisces. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you to everyone who has been here. And thank you for everything that you do. Thank you so much for participating. I really appreciate you guys. And check out your other placements if you want a private reading, description box. Bye.
So I'll rest within the silence, your presence my disguise. For in the dark there's always light in your ember.